Hi guys, it's Sebastian from Noble Frugal Studio, and I made a little bit of a mistake on on the tutorial I was doing just a second ago. I'm not gonna post it, of course, but I made a mistake on one of the animation processes I was getting through. So what this video is gonna be about is in-depth timing. I do a lot of in-depth things, so I really want to get you guys to understand what it is that these concepts are in animation. And I will link down to you guys. I will link down to a tutorial series about the fundamentals of Funimation. I'm thinking of the people who made Dragon Ball Z. I think. I don't know. Anyway, the fundamentals of animation by Alan Becker. Really great animator. He has a great tutorial on the fundamentals of animation, and I literally became a better animator by watching those. I'm not saying I'm guaranteeing it, but it really did help me. So right now we're in the animation tab, and we're gonna make this guy do something that I like to call shock timing, which is something that I need to. It's better shown than explained. So we're gonna save this, and after I save this, I'm gonna get to you guys on the shock timing, and I'll be right back. Alright guys, so we're in the preview tab of Opentoonz of this animation I was making over a span of 2 days. It's not finished, it's just a short scene. And to go to the preview tab, all you gotta do is click File and scroll all the way down to Preview, and there it is. So now we're gonna look at this animation that I made. The song is Lucid by Swum. Now I was animating to this because I really like the song and the way it sounds, so we're just gonna watch this and I'll show you guys where the shock timing comes in. So as you guys can see, very Dragon Ball Z inspired, and the one thing I wanted to talk to you guys about is this hand timing. So as you can see, the hand opens up and very smooth looking, but actually is it? Because there's no in between 13 and 14. A lot of E in there, but however it looks like it's really smooth. It just happens super quickly, and that's also because of these dashing lines, but also because of something where I prepared the fist for movement and then had a little bit of a cooldown, as you guys can see, like right here where the hand's sort of moving up is the cooldown. So what I want to show you guys today is how to handle cooldowns and shock timing, because it's the reason I call it shock timing is because it's shocking. Like it doesn't seem like it's something that's gonna it sort of surprises the viewer. So what I have right now is a little bit of a little guy with a hat that has a bazooka in his hand. This is supposed to be a bazooka. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna give him a little bit of shock timing. So what we're gonna do is give him a little bit of a anticipation, which is one of the fundamentals of animation, where as someone will sort of wind up before they do an action. So we're gonna turn on our new skin by right clicking and clicking activate on new skin. And we're gonna set our horizon as exposure very long so we can see it. We're gonna go to the next frame and we're gonna sort of give him an anticipation. So what he's gonna do for this anticipation is our main keyframe that we're trying to get to is that we're trying to get to him holding the bazooka like this. This is him holding the bazooka. We're trying to get to that. Let me draw his hat in here. Very adorable hat. We're trying to draw this guy's bazooka like this. We're trying to get him to up there. So the one thing about animation is that you're trying to lay. It's a very good idea to lay out your keyframes first before you start animating. Just a tip there. So trying to get him like this. But before that, it just looks very robotic if you were to move like this. So what we do as humans and what is an animation principle is anticipation. So before he does that, we're gonna draw him sort of getting ready for it. So we're gonna draw him sort of let's see. We're gonna draw him sort of subconsciously getting that force. So we're gonna rotate his bazooka down just a little bit. So it goes like So it's sort of like he's getting ready to lift the bazooka. I don't exactly know what's the best way to show someone getting ready for bazooka. It will have to be slight. It will not have to be forced. So I'm gonna do it like this. I'm gonna draw his body first, and we'll deal with his we'll deal with his anticipation because it's mainly in the raising of the bazooka. The only reason I would recommend the Alan Becker tutorial is because I'm not the best teacher when it comes to the fundamentals. I do know most of them, but I'm not very good at teaching them, so I'm going to recommend you guys for those. Just move it down like just a little bit so we can show that he's about to do some action. So before watching this video, I would recommend watching that. So we'll just do that. It sort of looks okay. It just seems like in the sketch phase, it's not looking the way that someone would intend it to. So we're gonna add a little bit of that to make it look a little more similar. And then he raises that. That's his extreme pose. And this video is timing, so I'm not gonna make you guys wait anymore for this. What we're gonna do is gonna have this being really close, and then extreme, and then comes the cooldown. So the extreme pose is when he lifts this bazooka up, and then what we're going to do is have a little bit of a cooldown. So he's gonna, right after he lifts the bazooka, it's gonna tilt down just a little bit. Tilt down, just tone it down just a little bit. It's gonna tone down. He's going to set himself in a natural pose that he's going to be in, and then his cap's gonna normalize out. Like he's gonna set himself in a normal place, and what that does is that it sort of gives him that, like, I don't know. It sort of gives him a way that he's not just being a robot. Like, you know, after he does something, after a rash action occurs, he has a cooldown, sort of, which sounds more like a robot than I intended it to. Let's move this a little bit down like this, per se. There we go. So he's still up and ready. He's just doing this thing. All right. So and it has to be very quick after. So we'll make the timing for this around 4. And I'm sorry guys if this tutorial is a little bit confusing. It's just these principles that I learned sort of came to me, and it doesn't look bad at all. These principles that I learned sort of came to me as impulses because I watched so much animation, and that's one of the main reasons I'm into it, is because I just looked at animation and now I'm applying it to mine. Let me make this a little bit longer because it's longer after the anticipation. So that's why it may come off as hard to explain, because it's sort of just an impulse for me, the way I watched animation be done. So I'm sort of used to these things, but I don't exactly know how to put them into words. But again, Alan Becker could probably put them into words that I couldn't. So that's why I'm recommending that tutorial for you guys, because really this is for your benefit. I'm not being paid for this. I'm not really sure if that's not, it's not my software, so I'm not being paid for this. I'll make this timing a little longer. So what we did is that we gave him a neutral pose. We sort of made an anticipation where he just kind of moved down a little bit, and then we gave him an extreme in which we're going to add swoosh marks just on the end of this bazooka to make it, because he made a big movement, and then a cooldown. So basically, what I want to tell you guys is that timing is one of the most important parts of animation, and really getting it right will help you. So we got that. So let me turn the onion skin off, deactivate onion skin by right clicking. Boom. So now we got our anticipation down. Oh, I'm so glad this looks better than I thought it did. He got his bazooka up. I mean, not play that a million times, it just looks strange. So he got his bazooka up. He's looking towards his target, and that looks a lot better than I thought it would. Okay, good, because I didn't want it to look a little bit clunky, and then no one's gonna get who it is. So we'll change this. We're gonna change something so it looks this anticipation looks better. We're gonna do this. We're gonna give him a little bit of a caparino. Gonna put his eyes like this. Just make them lines. Why not? Eyes like this, and then when he goes down, he sort of is turning. Then he turns completely profile, and then he settles into a natural pose. So we'll make it so it just looks like he's changing. There we go. So now that we got our anticipation down, that's really what you got to do. All you got to do is timing. You got to lay out your keyframes. These would be our keyframes. this, and that's it. These and these, we only have 2 keyframes really. But what we did in between that is we made, really I did the process in a way that I shouldn't have. What you're really supposed to do, guys, is layer out your keyframes first. And so we would just have this first, and then when you guys go back, you would add the cooldown, and you would add like the anticipation of him doing something like that. So I did it a little bit backwards, and that's really not good for teaching one thing, but that's really the way that I go about timing. So really the main words that we're looking for, I'm going to put them down, are steps would be 1, let me put this on a new layer. Actually, I don't want it to look weird. Lay out keyframes. Let me put this as 1. Out keyframes. Keys. It looks very strange with my size of the brush. 2 would be go back and add anticipation, and then 3 would be add cooldown. Okay, so those are the kind of the 3 steps of making something I like to call shock timing, which is sort of something shocking's happening, but it's not as shocking or robotic when you see that there's an anticipation for it. So he turns, and we got it. So I did want to do a little more with this, but I think that we're on the long side of the tutorial. So thank you guys so much for watching. These videos are very quick to make to me, so that's why I sort of release them more frequently than I do on my other channels. But I will try to get to those because they really take a little while to, especially Jet Saber with Speedruns Adventure. It really takes me a little while to edit those. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.